Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number S771-W. This is a roll of white self-adhesive Astragal or meeting style silicone-based material. This happens to be a 10-foot roll, and this is what it looks like when it ships regardless of the roll length. Pull a little end of it out here. And this is simply a T-shape. Very typical, common sort of item that you're going to see installed in between two doors. And people will install it between those two doors because it will give you an ability to bring the opening compliant to a smoke control requirement, a draft control requirement, a fire rated and air seal sort of rated opening. That's what this material is for. It's simply self-adhesive. It's incredibly easy to install, available in several different colors. Your dark brown. It's also available in black and a clear, should be a clear finish as well. Looking at my cheat sheet of the other colors. It's T-shaped. You can see why that's so called. There is an image below this video showing the important dimensional properties of the item. This is 7/16 of an inch wide, and then it's uncompressed projection. They put it at 930 seconds, so it's going to be just heavy on a 1/4 inch, and it's going to be very commonly used between two doors is where you're going to see it. I see these in hospitals all the times, just on their doors between like the common public hallway where the family waiting room might be, and then of course all the patient doors. You'll very commonly have pairs of fire rated doors there, obviously, and this material helps allows you to be compliant with the necessary fire rating that you might be encountering. This is silicone based. This is white self-adhesive backing. You just peel away that protective film that's on the back there to expose a bit of the very high quality adhesive that's there. Very high quality. Use on virtually any pair of doors where sound attenuation is required. This material is also very effective at just retarding the transmission of sound. You might want to seal a couple of doors for reasons outside of a fire rating. You might want to retard sound. You might want to retard the transmission of dust and debris. This material is inexpensive and it's easy to install, and it is very effective at doing that stuff. So it's used in installations beyond the fire rated aspect of what you might encounter. Seals the opening to prevent heat loss, retards the passage of smoke, and acts as a weatherization product. Features excellent resistance to compression, particularly at elevated temperatures for an extended period of time. Stays flexible at an extreme temperature range. Low closing force, so if you have a tight margin, this will compress down quite small. If you had a common 1/8 of an inch margin between your two doors, this is great. Even if it was a little bit smaller than that, you should still be able to get away with using this. Easy installation, requires no mechanical fasteners, just cut in length in the field. Okay, there is a link below this video to a document. It is called Installation Instructions, which is really nothing other than the information that's printed on the back of the package. It's a 2-page sort of condition, and it's very important for you to be to review that material, not so that you need a lesson on how to apply something that's self-adhesive, but there are tips there that are crucial to know. So moving really to page 2 is where the installation instructions begin. First of all, there's a shelf life. About 6 months. Don't buy this material for a potential use in the future. Order it as needed. It has that adhesive has a 6-month shelf life. Store it between 50 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Before installing, thoroughly clean the frame with the enclosed cleansing towelette. It is so crucial that the frame or the door is utterly clean and free of dust and debris that they include an alcohol wipe here. It is that crucial. By the way, that is a label that you can apply to your frame that will attest to this material's ability to comply with the required fire rating. The edge of the door or the frame, wherever you're applying it, needs to be so completely clean that they include that alcohol wipe. If the frame has been painted or stained, it must be thoroughly cured, at least a week out. Any sort of dust and debris will compromise this material's adhesive's ability to hold onto the opening, and The first time you do it, if you've not taken extra precaution, even when you think it's clean, go back one more time and make sure it's clean. You can come the next day and the project will have failed, so you'll want to be extra sure that it's completely clean. Remove grease, dust, cleanser buildup if you've got some sort of material that's been put on there. Before installation, wait for the frame surface to completely dry, evaporate. Some hospital environments have wax or antibacterial cleanser buildup. You want to be sure to get that off. As an alternative or substitute cleanser, use isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. Note, mineral spirits or other petroleum-based products should not be used for the obvious reason. You might destroy the finish that's on the material, and adhesive is not intended for it either. Must be at room temperature, above 50, below 100 degrees. When to install? Installation should take place after construction is completed, flooring is finished, final cleaning is completed. Paint on frame must be cured for at least 5 to 7 days. Paint cannot be wet under the dry surface when gaskets are pressed on. Avoid quick dry primers in your process of getting ready to apply the material. Those leave a powdery surface, which will prevent sufficient adhesion. When applying to a wood frame, the surface must be non-porous and sealed. Follow industry standard guidelines on sealed wood frames to rough them up, maybe with some Scotch-Brite, to give yourself the required surface area. Now, installation of the material. They're going to say that you should have 24-inch of this backer removed. I'm a fan of less because you don't want to unintentionally bump it onto the door or the frame when you're applying it. Having less allows you to get it straighter, in my opinion, without pulling it taut. Any sort of stretching is going to cause that material to fatigue and fail. You'll come the next day and it will be detached in areas. So back to the installation instructions. Do not stretch the material. Product can retract or shrink if stretched. When you're pushing it on, use only very firm, perpendicular pressure when applying. Use a wallpaper seam roller to reinforce the adhesion after applying. Do not stretch the material. When using that seam roller, I don't recommend using it at all. Just lots of pressure straight on for several dozen seconds. Double check the adhesion 2 to 3 hours after leaving the job overnight. If gasket separates from the frame, immediately press again with firm pressure in place. If adhesive strip is exposed, airborne dust is going to get to the back of it and then impede its ability to do its job. You'll have to replace if necessary. Application at header can be awkward due to the overhead condition. Just be sure to apply enough pressure is what they're saying. Adhesion takes delayed set. Immediately removal and resetting can be done if an error occurs in the initial placement. Do not reset after an hour. Full set is reached at 24 hours. Installation instructions: pre-cut the material. Measure it, pre-cut it. If you're too long at the end, then you've stretched it. You're going to want to rectify that immediately. Remove approximately 24-inch of the backing from the adhesive gasketing strip. Be careful not to touch the adhesive or drag the adhesive on the ground. Absolutely, I like working with a shorter distance. That's personal preference, shorter length. Position the adhesive gasketing as illustrated on the lower left. Do not stretch the material. The use of a hand roller is highly recommended. I've never used a hand roller. I'm tempted to stay with the original way of installing it, just elbow grease. If you have a single acting door or a double acting door, it matters on where you're going to apply this material. Okay, so keep that in mind. Review that. Single acting doors, you're going to want to install the material at the push side where you'll have a bevel. If they're double acting doors, it'll be right in the center of the material where the radius is at, well, just in the center of the door. Once installed, apply firm pressure along the entire surface of the product to ensure proper adhesion to the frame. Application is acceptable on active or the inactive leaf of a pair of doors. I've seen this material installed in double egress as well, where they've installed 2 strips of it just because they wanted to have that additional amount of ability to weatherize between the 2 doors, etc. I've also had people just use this for a variety of different applications, for boats, for sealing overhead, double hung wood windows where they've got an air conditioning unit. I'm a fan of the material to augment existing weather stripping only because it's effective, it's inexpensive, and it's easy to install. And quite frankly, if you're looking to just augment, you can you'll be happy with just getting the material on. Just make sure the frame is clean. The name Pemko is synonymous with all things weather stripping related, not only self-adhesive T-shaped material like this, but they have a comprehensive offering of self-adhesive material used for smoke control, draft control sort of openings. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full line catalog and review their comprehensive offering of all things weather stripping related in both commercial and residential areas. They also have a complete line of aluminum continuous geared hinges and sliding door tracks and hangers used in residential and commercial sorts of sliding doors. Any questions on the Pemko S771-W, roll of silicone white T-shaped self-adhesive gasketing, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.